The economic environment. The demand on fashion depends on consumer income, population characteristics, and technology advances. This is all known as the economic environment. Consumer income consists of personal income, disposable personal income, discretionary income, and the purchasing power of the dollar. Oftentimes, money is associated with status and class. The more personal income one has, the more socially acceptable they may consider themselves to be. Personal income consists of our wages, salaries, interest earned, etc. These are our earnings before taxes are withheld from our paychecks. Disposable personal income is the amount of money that we have left over after taxes is withheld. This is also referred to as take-home pay. Typically, the more disposable income we have, the more money that we have to spend on fashion. Discretionary income is quite similar to disposable income. The two words are often used interchangeably. It is the money that is left over after the purchase of necessities such as food, clothing, and shelter. Let's take a look here at the purchasing power of the dollar and how it has changed over the years. In the image here, you will see that in 1950, an item that could be purchased for $1 now costs $10.65 as of 2019. This shows the drastic decrease in the purchasing power of the dollar since the 1950s. Even more recently with the pandemic, we have watched prices for basic necessities soar. Take, for example, a pack of butter. It practically increased in price overnight, going from about $7 to $10, or even the rising cost of gas. Population. Population includes the size and the age mix of those who reside in geographical locations. Population size and the age mix of the population have effects on fashion's demand. An increased population size means an increase in the demand on fashion. The larger a population becomes, the more people there are to clothe. A change in the age mix can also result in the expansion of certain markets. Take for consideration an increase in birth rate. This increase can increase the fashion demand for children, while an increase in one's lifespan, how long someone will live, can also result in an increase in demand for more leisurely apparel that would be more suitable for a retiree. On this slide, you can see how the population has changed by racial and ethnic groups. So as you can see, in the 1960s, Caucasian people were the majority of the US population. In 2018, Caucasian people were still leading the pack at 61%. By 2050, it is projected that Caucasian people will be at 47% of the US population, whereas Hispanic will be at 29%, Black will be at 12%, and Asian will be at 9%. With the change in our ethnic group, or the size of our ethnic group, also comes changes with fashion. With an increase in a more Asian population, clothing sizes will vary and become more slimmer to fit the needs of those individuals. However, with Hispanic and Black ethnicities, we may find that we have more attire that is geared towards those groups' interests. More bolder colors, more vibrant patterns, etc. The sociological environment. The sociological environment has six key factors: leisure time, ethnic influences, status of women, social and physical mobility, instant communication, wars, disasters, and crises. Consumers' attitudes are influenced by the social patterns of the times, causing changes in fashion. In today's society, we often yearn for more leisure time. Our busy lifestyles are centered around work and family and do not leave much space for other activities that we find of interest. However, we still try to squeeze in those moments to exercise, to travel, and relax. The activities that we partake in our leisure time calls for our wardrobes to be more versatile. The pandemic gave rise to athleisure wear. As much time that we spend at home as compared to being in an office setting or being able to be out and about enjoying a great movie, these things have actually changed what we wear. As the U.S. works towards being a more inclusive country, we see shifts in the fashion industry as the demand for more products and services specific to certain ethnic groups increase. With projections showing the Hispanic community will become the majority of the population in the coming years, we've experienced bolder colors and prints. You'll also notice a change in skin tone stockings, as well as cosmetics, undergarments, band-aids. The need for these items is influenced by our increasing population and the ethnic groups within the population. The status of women. With the constraints of women in the past, women are free to explore the world and chase their dreams. No longer are women confined to the home as homemakers. Women have entered the workforce in record numbers, taking on positions that were once thought of to be for men, such as your professional C-suite positions. With a higher education and more social freedom, more women are now working outside of the home, and the demand for fashion has shifted to accommodate the professional woman. Social and physical mobility. Social mobility is the movement within a social hierarchy. In the US, individuals move within classes that are based on education, occupation, income, etc. These classes include the immensely wealthy, very wealthy, middle class, low income, and those at poverty levels. The very bottom includes the unemployed and homeless. Physical mobility refers to one's ability to travel, whether it is in our daily routine, perhaps it's vacation travel, or even a complete change in our residence. As we move about, we are exposed and influenced by the different fashion around us, or our need for a particular fashion increases. Instant communications affect the speed in which our fashion changes. New styles are introduced into the market via social media and the web, which in turn affects our fashion life cycle. Wars, disasters, and crises. These events causes the need for fashions that correlate to the changes in the attitudes and environments. The psychological environment. There are five factors: boredom, curiosity, reaction to convention, need for self-insurance, and the desire for companionship. So boredom tends to lead to a desire for something new in fashion. So if we look in our closet, we're bored with what's in there. What do we tend to do? We tend to go to the store and look for something new and fun to add to our wardrobes. Curiosity and the need to experiment keeps fashion alive. The reaction to convention, which is rebellion against or adherence to, the rejection of a fashion results in us seeking something new. The need for self-assurance. Fashion can affect one's self-esteem. When you go out and buy the new fashion item, you get a sense of belonging and a spike in your self-esteem when you wear it. Desire for companionship. Being accepted within a particular group. These physiological factors influence the demand on fashion.